I spent 20 years in jail and I used to tell myself it was okay. So my question to yourselves is, do we as society become prisoners of our own mindset based around how we perceive things to be within life, and literally get into a position where we say everything's okay, I don't need to chat about this, cell door locks, 20 years in custody, and I used to say I'll do it standing on my head, but I was so twisted in my mentality, it messed up my reality. So my question to you is, has that been the case for yourself? Have you been a prisoner of your own mindset? And what was one tip that you'd leave for the audience to be able to take away and go, far out, I never thought about life like that and how I could step out of this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are the master sabotagers, of our own destiny.
Yeah.
And we are the only people in control of our destiny, and we're also the only people in control of not making it there. But also we are the solution and we are the problem. And so for me, even though as a young kid I promised myself I'll be a millionaire and blah, 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 that was a story I told myself as a kid.
Yeah.
The reality of that happening was the actions needed to be put into place.
Yes.
And I didn't know who I was at that stage in order to do that. So the lifestyle that you live goes into dysfunction and delusion and all that sort of stuff before you come back and mature.
Yes.
And then find out who you are, to unpack your invisible backpack, as you would say, and then get lighter as you go, but with more knowledge, and then you can action the knowledge that you've learnt in order to acquire whatever you desire.
Boom, video done. No, I'm joking. We've still got Dano to answer that question. How powerful is that? Go back, rewind that, listen to it again, because I know the depth of that conversation. Unpacking your invisible backpack, it's something I did, and it allowed me to be freer, become, deload that heaviness I was carrying around from the experiences of life. For yourself, is there something, Dana?
Well, like you said, everything's a limiting belief in life. So even though you had the aspirations of being a millionaire, that's still a limiting belief. So it just depends on what mindset you have and what your limit is. So why not have a limiting belief as I'm going to be a billionaire? Like it all depends in how you look at that projection as well. So
I love that, because I heard something the other day. It was very powerful, and it's always how we look at life and how we perceive life and the words that we say. Sometimes we'll say something, and even though it's a positive, that's the cap you're putting yourself on.
Yeah.
So $1 million, that's it. Is that it, T? So what happens after that, as an
And that's the
example?
funny thing, as a kid, that's what I did, right? Because $1 million back then was a lot of money.
Absolutely.
But then as I got older, so when reality struck and I had no money and I came home broke from Manpower, it was 2008, I had no money in the bank account. The first thing I needed was 100 grand.
Yes.
So I wrote myself out a check and I put it up on the wall, and that year I made 90.
Wow.
And then I wrote another check.
So did you feel you failed in that process?
No,
or-
no. I felt
was-
I was on the process. I was in
Beautiful.
progress, right? So without no action, there was going to be no progress and no outcome. So the next one was $1 million.
Yeah.
And then the one after that is obviously $1 billion. And the one after that is obviously there is no ceiling.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
that's it.
I think one thing, just really quickly, with that is the fact that sometimes we look at hitting $90,000, we aim for 100,000. People will beat themselves up on not getting to that 100,000. Celebrate every single win, and you learnt and you grew through that journey. Sorry to cut you off, my brother.
You're right. I was going to say, and putting people in your corner too to help you get there. Like the biggest leap forward we had was putting the right people that had been there before us. So I've got a business mentor at the moment, and I celebrate our financial wins for the month. Say we've done a 6-figure month. So let's just say we've done $100,000 for the month. She's like, why didn't you do 200? Like, and that's not
Love
from
that.
putting me down. It's like, it's the question you get to ask yourself of, what can I do more of to create that for myself as well?
Love that. Powerful little journey for yourselves. Understand that every lesson is a blessing, but being around the right people will challenge you to see things differently in life. And hopefully, I'll rephrase that. I know what they've just given you is gold nuggets to take into your life and empower you to a life you never thought possible. See you soon. Drop a comment below. Let us know what you got out of this content. Let's go.